It was supposed to be a routine business trip, a few days away from my wife and a little peace and quiet for me. I thought I'd have some time to catch up on work, maybe relax, but I couldn't shake this feeling, this nagging feeling that something wasn't right. I'd been hearing things, catching odd glances, and noticing strange messages on her phone. It was nothing, I told myself, just my imagination running wild. But then everything changed the day she called me from the hotel. She sounded different. Her voice was soft, distracted, and there was a strange background noise I couldn't quite place. That night, I couldn't sleep. The uncertainty gnawed at me, pulling me out of bed at 2 a.m., looking through old receipts, hotel bookings, anything I could find. What I discovered wasn't just suspicious, it was enough to change everything. I wasn't just paranoid, I was being lied to. As the truth began to unravel, I was faced with a choice I didn't expect. Would I confront her, or would I let this betrayal pass, hoping it would all just go away? But the more I dug, the more I realized it wasn't just one lie. It was a web of deceit, and I was stuck in the middle. I met Lisa 5 years ago. She was ambitious, driven, and everything I thought I needed. We connected instantly, and over time, our bond grew stronger. She wasn't just my wife, she was my partner in every sense. We had everything: love, success, a beautiful home. I trusted her completely. I believed in us. But then there was that trip. Lisa had been planning it for months, a business opportunity too good to pass up, she said. She was always about her career, always looking for ways to advance. I admired her for it, even though it sometimes felt like she was slipping away from me, one meeting at a time. I never imagined that a simple work trip could change everything. The Lisa I knew, the woman I married, the woman I had dreams of growing old with, was slowly becoming a stranger. And me? I had no idea I was standing on the edge of a revelation that would shake my world to its core. The man who thought he had it all was about to find out that everything he thought he knew was a lie. It was a Friday night when it all started to fall apart. Lisa called me from her hotel, but it wasn't the same. She was distracted, her tone was off. She was always a perfectionist, always on top of things, but this time she sounded flustered. She said she had a late meeting, but she'd call me later. That was the first time I felt a shift, a crack in the perfect facade she had built around our life. The next morning, I decided to check something. I had this gut feeling that I couldn't ignore anymore. Her phone was on the counter, and for a brief moment, I hesitated. But curiosity got the better of me. I unlocked it, something I'd never done before. The first thing that hit me was a series of messages, one after another, from someone named Zach. The messages were cryptic, filled with inside jokes, plans to meet up after her meetings, talk of late-night drinks and dinners. I scrolled, heart racing, until I saw one that sent chills down my spine. Can't wait for tonight. Just you and me. I'll make sure you forget about him. That was it. The moment I knew. She was hiding something from me. And the worst part? It wasn't the first time she had lied. I didn't confront her immediately. I had to find out more. I started going through her emails, her calendar, and the texts. I found a pattern: business trips, late-night meetings, private conversations. Every piece of evidence painted the same picture. I wasn't just being paranoid, I was being cheated on. As the days went on, I couldn't stop thinking about the woman I thought I knew so well. Lisa and I had always been open with each other. We talked about everything, from our dreams to our fears, from our careers to our childhood memories. How could she keep this from me? How could she betray the trust we had built? The more I thought about it, the more I realized this wasn't just about a momentary lapse in judgment. This was something deeper, something I should have noticed but chose to ignore. Lisa had always been independent, but recently she'd become distant. We hadn't had a real conversation in months. Our relationship had shifted, but I was too wrapped up in work and life to notice. She had changed, but I was too comfortable in my own world to see it. I thought she was just busy. But now, I was questioning everything. Did she even love me anymore? Or had she been looking for someone else all along? I found out that Zach wasn't just a colleague. He was someone from her past, someone she had known long before we met, someone who reappeared in her life when I wasn't looking. The affair had been going on for months, under my nose, while I blindly went about my life, trusting the woman I married. I couldn't let it go. I couldn't just pretend I didn't know. I waited until Lisa came home, but instead of confronting her directly, I let the tension build. I wanted to see if she would admit it first. She didn't. Instead, she acted like everything was normal. She asked how my day was, kissed me on the cheek, and started telling me about her trip. I couldn't take it anymore. The anger, the betrayal, the confusion, it all bubbled up inside me. I asked her about Zach, trying to keep my voice steady. She froze. It was the first real crack in her carefully constructed world. She tried to cover it up, but I could see the guilt in her eyes. She tried to deny it, but I had all the proof I needed. The lies, the texts, the plans. That's when she finally admitted it. The words she said were like a dagger to my heart. I didn't mean for it to happen. I never wanted to hurt you, but the damage was done. The truth hit me harder than I could ever have imagined. The woman I loved, the woman I trusted, had been lying to me for months. She had cheated. And I had nothing but questions. Why? How long had this been going on? What was I supposed to do now? I knew I had to make a decision. Should I forgive her and try to rebuild the trust we had, or should I walk away? I was torn between the man who wanted to fight for the life we had built and the man who felt betrayed beyond repair. It wasn't an easy choice. Every part of me screamed to leave, but there was a part of me that still loved her, still believed in the woman I married. But could I really live with this betrayal? Could I trust her again? Could she ever be the person I thought she was? In the end, I realized that I couldn't pretend everything was fine. The truth had shattered everything. I couldn't go back to the way things were, and neither could she. We were both changed, irreparably. After everything came out, we tried to talk. We tried to make sense of the mess we were in, but no amount of words could take back what had happened. I moved out, stayed with a friend for a while, and focused on figuring out what I really wanted. Lisa apologized. She begged me to come back, to forgive her, but I couldn't. The love we shared was gone. Maybe it was always gone. I realized that sometimes the hardest thing isn't walking away from someone you love, it's realizing you have to let go. I never thought I'd be the one to face betrayal like this. It's one thing to hear about it in stories, but it's another when it happens to you. The truth is, you never know what's happening behind closed doors. You trust the person you love, but sometimes that trust is shattered in ways you can't imagine. If you've ever been through something like this, you know how hard it is to rebuild. But sometimes walking away is the best decision you can make for yourself. If you want more stories like this and tips on how to deal with betrayal, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Remember, trust is the foundation of any relationship, but when that trust is broken, it's not always easy to fix. Stay tuned for more, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.